Hey y'all, tonight I am making one of my family's favorite meals. One of my favorite meals because it's so easy to make, and it's actually a version of one of the recipes that's in the new Season's Best cookbook for this fall. It's actually going to be a ravioli lasagna. You can make this many ways. The first time I ever made it, I actually did it in a crock pot. But then I started baking it because I just like doing it that way better. And if you know me, you know I don't really tend to plan out too far ahead. So you can always do this in your oven. I use frozen raviolis that I get these at H-E-B here in Texas. So I'm just gonna open these up. You could use, I've done this in this size, like the 9x13. I've done it in our big enameled cast iron, which is bigger than this. I can't think of the exact size right off the top of my head, but you just do it. And I've never really gone by a recipe. So there is a recipe in the Season's Best. I've doubled the recipe. It just depends on how much you think your family will eat. So I've already made my spaghetti sauce ahead of time. I just use ground beef. I'm just gonna spread a little bit in the bottom of my pan here. And then I'm going to start layering. The one thing I am gonna do different tonight is I'm gonna use spinach. It's a little different. So in the recipe in the Season's Best, it calls for frozen spinach, and you thaw it and you drain it. I'm going to use fresh spinach, and we're going to see how it comes out. I'm just going to layer my raviolis. These are just cheese raviolis. Again, you could use whatever sounds good to you. You could even do this same kind of way with, if you wanted to use tortellini. You could definitely do it with tortellini as well. Let me see if I can squeeze another layer in here. And they're still frozen, so you don't have to pre-cook them or anything. You could if you wanted, and it would just cook faster in your oven, but you can totally just put these in here frozen. And I'm gonna go ahead and cut my spinach open here. By the way, these scissors are the best ever. I'm gonna get a handful, and this is baby spinach. I'm just gonna get a handful, and I'm just gonna kind of tear it up to make it smaller pieces and sprinkle it all around. Just thought I'd add a little vegetable to our dinner tonight. You could even do, I was thinking, because I have some zucchini in the fridge, I was like, you could even maybe julienne or chop up, kind of small, some zucchini, and even put zucchini in it. All right, so next I'm just going to put some sauce. I just try to make sure I hit at least every ravioli with some. What's going to happen is as it bakes, the sauce is going to kind of get pulled down to the bottom anyways. So as long as you've got enough sauce on your ravioli there, that as it cooks, it keeps them moist and they don't get dried out, it will work. The other thing, and I might grab it, that makes this really easy when you're doing something like this, are the little easy read measuring cups to pour like that. So now I'm just gonna put another layer. You could put cheese on it in between. I'm not going to, because I don't really like cheese all that much. Like, I don't like a ton of cheese, so my family just has to suffer since I'm the one cooking. I love these raviolis. I got really sad because I thought that they were out earlier. Oh, wait, spinach. Some spinach. So you could also chop some of this up with your salad choppers. Again, this is one of those meals, I just want to show you guys, this is a lot of times whenever it's getting late or I'm just not feeling like staying in here too long, I can just throw this meal together and it comes out like I spent hours on it. And I didn't. Rarely do I ever spend hours, and it's usually a holiday. Nobody's got time for that, right? I know I do not. Or energy, for that matter. All right, got some spinach. Make it look nice and green. All right. This pan is one of my new favorites. All right. I don't think I'm gonna put spinach on that layer. I am just going to put the rest of my sauce over it. As much of that sauce out of that pan as possible. Let me grab my cheese. Wanted to keep it in the fridge as long as possible so it didn't get too soft. I don't always put cheese on top of it. You do not have to. This is just mozzarella. And I'm just going to use my grater right over it. And you just measure with your heart how much cheese you and your family want. Now I'm just gonna spread that out a little bit. Voila. Now I'm just gonna put it in the oven. One of the reasons why I love this pan so much is that I have got this nice tray that is a stoneware piece that sits on top of it. I'm not gonna cook with it on yet. I have. However, the perfect way to do that is wait till you've got about 15 minutes or so left, or however long it's going to take your bread to cook, then put it on there and put your bread on it and let your bread cook at the same time. So that is our ravioli lasagna. I'm going to put it in the oven and then I'll show you guys whenever it's done. Alright, we are back and our lasagna is done. It is a little toasty, so I probably wouldn't cook it as long as I did again. But yeah, that's it. So now, I just get this little scoop here. You can cut through and get your pieces like you want. Let me grab a bowl. There it is. Quick, easy dinner.